On a scale from 1 to 10, showing me your fingers, I'd like for you to tell me how likely are you to do a nice thing for a friend? Okay, thank you. Next question. On a scale from 1 to 10, how likely are you to do something nice for a person that either is a stranger or is maybe somebody that we don't like? Okay, so from what I can gather, we are significantly more likely to do things for people that we are friendly with, that we have commonalities with, but when it comes to people who are foreign to us or people that we have something that gets in between us, there's some friction, right? We're not so likely to do those same kind of acts. Thank you for your honesty. Let's dive in a little bit deeper to this concept. Considering that today is Veterans Day, right, and we spoke earlier that Veterans Day is a day for us to honor those who put their lives on the line, that protect our freedoms. Literally, they put their own lives in danger for other people. I found it very fitting to highlight one soldier in particular based on a movie that I saw. In 2016, there was a movie called Hacksaw Ridge. Phenomenal movie. For those of you that saw it, you know why. For those of you that haven't seen it, I highly recommend you see it. Although, if you're averse to seeing bloody, gory, killing scenes, don't watch it. If you're into it, I highly recommend it.
It's so good.
Now, I want to talk about the soldier that was highlighted in this film. His name is Desmond Doss. True story. The interesting story about Desmond Doss starts off like this. Desmond Doss wanted to serve and protect, but at the same time, his religious beliefs prevented him from harming another person. He refused to hold a gun. He refused to take the life of another. But yet he was determined to serve and protect and to help and support in any way that he could. And he wanted to serve as a medic. Now the movie goes on to depict and highlight just how cruel, just how vicious, not only his captain was towards him, but all of the other soldiers that were in training. They could not comprehend what Desmond Doss was there to do. How could it be? A soldier is here to kill. A soldier is here to protect by force. And if you can't do so, then sir, you are not going to be a soldier. There's a great line in the movie where the captain is talking to Desmond Doss, and he says to him, "Boy, why are you here?" And he says, "I'm here for the same reasons you are. That when you're on the battlefields trying to take the life of another, I want to be on the battlefields trying to save the life of another." And the captain looks at him and he says, "You, sir, you will not be serving side by side with me. That I can guarantee you." They even went to court. They tried to have him removed from the armed forces. Unfortunately for the agenda, for the mission, there was a law that was passed preventing those who abstained from forcefully killing, which was Desmond Doss's case, could not remove him from his service. So unfortunately, or in retrospect, fortunately, he stayed. Now the last segment of the movie, right, when they get to the battle, right, why is it called Hacksaw Ridge, right? What was that recognized as? So this was a battle that was happening in Okinawa, Japan, and basically there was a very steep cliff that the Japanese soldiers were waiting, and the American soldiers had to climb up with a rope up this crazy high mountain, this cliff, and then that's when they were able to start the battle. For those of you who understand physics, right, and trajectory and angles, the Americans were at a significant disadvantage that the second they came up onto the cliff, it was Gamarnu, Pesach, they were done. And then the next thing that happens, I can only categorize as superhuman. For those of you that saw the movie. The Americans are getting slaughtered. Literally, the bodies are either getting killed, or if they weren't killed, they were just decimated. They were laid out to die. And it seems like there's nothing that they can do. There's nothing that's going to help this cause. Except for one Desmond Doss. What does he do? He doesn't have a gun. What does he do? Thank you, Ray. He pretends to be dead so that when the Japanese soldiers come by, they think that there's no survivors. And then from nightfall all the way through the morning, Desmond Doss does the unthinkable. He goes ahead and he saves each soldier one by one. He brings them down. And this wasn't like, let me just walk you to like the next hospital. It was, let me save you, wrap you around the rope, tug you down all the way down the cliff, and do it again. And again and again. Desmond Doss saved 75 lives. True story. But not only did he save these lives, he saved the lives of those that wanted him dead himself. They told him, get away from us, we don't want you. And yet Desmond Doss found something within him to say, it's my duty and it's my obligation to save these same people that wanted me dead, that bullied me, that kicked me, that punched me, that pushed me. They killed him. This is the sign of a superhuman individual, Desmond Doss. Now, considering that Veterans Day is really an American holiday, I still feel it's appropriate to also highlight and recognize our brothers and sisters that fight in our home state of Israel. And the things that they do, I've heard so many different speeches from different soldiers talking about their time in Israel. And time again, they say the same things. It's unbelievable. There are rules and regulations. There are what's known as, right, these different rules that they have about how they go ahead with their battles. Do you understand what they do before they go and they fight? The first thing they do is they warn the enemy that they're coming, because they really don't want to hurt. They really don't want to kill. Let me tell you something. How smart is that strategy? That I'm going to notify my enemy that I'm coming before I come.
Pretty dumb.
It's pretty dumb, right? You know what else the Israeli army does? They don't look to kill. They look to maim, right? They don't want to kill any lives. But if somebody's threatening their own existence, if somebody is there to cause harm, they just want to minimize their damage. They just want to hurt them to the point where they're incapacitated to affect more harm. You know what else they do in the Israeli army? They save the lives of those that are their enemies. You know how many Jewish hospitals are there saving the same Arabs that were throwing stones or killing or shooting? It's unimaginable. It's unthinkable.
They do it to the point where it's risking itself.
Correct. They're willing to risk their own lives for the sake of living their lives a certain way. Now, boys, I have a question for all of us. How can we honor veterans? How can we honor those that choose to put their lives on the line in order to give us our freedoms that we so generously get to appreciate? And the common answers might be, well, we can write letters, and we can send thank you cards, right? And we can make speeches, and we can honor people on Veterans Day. But I want to offer a different thought. I want to offer a thought that perhaps we, in our own average lives, can emulate the same values and the same practices that those who are in the armed forces choose to live their lives by. Because, boys, I have a problem. We have a problem. Because if Desmond Doss can go out and save 75 lives to the same people that tormented him and bullied him and wanted him dead, yet we struggle to do acts of kindness for those that oppose us, for those that are foreign to us. I mean, it's an unbelievable concept. We spend more time arguing about if people can eat Fruity Pebbles on Pesach than we do if people should do good things or not. We talk more about if people should vote Democrat or Republican. We talk more about who's a Giants fan versus a Jet fan. Right? And if that person is a Jet fan, the hell with that guy. I want nothing to do with that guy.
Facts.
Facts. You like LeBron over Michael Jordan? Are you crazy? I can't be friends with you. Get out of here. This is the culture in which we live in. This is the way we live our lives. But boys, we are doing a disservice to those that serve and protect. So on this day, Veterans Day, the day that is chosen to recognize those that make life very easy for us. It's not so easy for them, very easy for us. If there's one thing that I think we can choose to do for ourselves, it's to think about what would Desmond Doss do? What would a typical Israeli soldier do? Now think about what would you do if there was somebody that needed something and you had to be inconvenienced just a little bit. What would Desmond Doss do? Would you do the same? Let's think about that really hard. Shabbat shalom.
See you after try.